Welcome to the Training Academy of Dr. Schutz. In this video we're going to show you how to renovate an old resilient or resin floor with Dr. Schutz products, at the same time enabling you to redesign it in a modern style. You're sure to have seen this kind of floor covering at least once before now. It's not a pleasant sight. Not only is it heavily worn down, but that makes it hard to clean as well. With high quality products from Dr. Schutz, that floor covering is transformed into this modern floor. And it can be done without having to tear out the old covering, which would involve a lot of work and expense. A further advantage is that you can redesign the new floor individually, according to the needs of the customer. The floor has been dyed with PU Sealer color and then finally sealed with PU Sealer 100. Color chips have been sprinkled into the surface. The floor is extremely robust and easy to clean. That makes the floor covering last longer and results in lower cleaning costs. First of all, the floor has to be stripped right down. In the process, old layers of sealant are removed by using turbo strip along with any dirt. Afterwards, the surface is neutralized with water so that the new seal adheres in an optimal way. Next, 2 coats of colored PU Sealer color are applied. You can sprinkle chips into the wet lacquer while applying the second coat. After the colored lacquer, a transparent top coat is applied. In this video, a top coat of PU Sealer 100 is applied. The idea of PU Sealer 100 allows you to have to apply only 1 coat of lacquer. Alternatively, one can also apply 2 coats of regular PU Sealer. First of all, the floor has to be stripped. For this floor, use turbo strip. Remove the safety ring and mix the turbo strip with water in the ratio stated on the label. Pour the mixed stripper onto a part of the floor. Then spread the stripper with a wide-head mop. Let the turbo strip soak and work in for 5 to 15 minutes. This enables a turbo strip to dissolve old layers of sealant, which can then be removed. Only cover as much area as you'll be able to work on before the floor dries. And don't forget to cover those hard-to-reach places. The surface is now slippery. Take care to wear rubber boots with high grip soles. For stripping, use a grey renovation pad and take the smaller pad out of the centre. Work on the area with an SRP2 single disc machine. Firstly, move the machine along the edges, then go on to the main area. Always move the machine at a steady speed. The floor must not be allowed to dry out. If necessary, spread a bit more turbo strip. The floor becomes noticeably lighter. The old sealing film is removed under the rotating pad following the effect of the turbo strip. Strip the entire floor using a figure-of-8 movement. Move in overlapping strips until the whole surface has been stripped and cleaned. This floor has been overused and is heavily soiled. Therefore, more turbo strip is applied a second time onto the still wet floor. After a time, the grey renovation pad becomes blocked by dissolved sealant film. That's the white mass which you can see here on the pad. Simply turn the pad over and continue working using the reverse side. Once again, first strip the edge, then go on to the main area. Should you find stubborn remnants of sealant film at a particular spot, clean these up by moving the machine in smaller circles. On no account should you run the SRP machine standing at a single spot. Keep it moving in small circles. Make sure you remove all the old sealant film. After stripping, the floor should feel smooth to the touch. Any visible blemishes or stains are usually due to remnants of sealant film which haven't been removed. Carefully work on the entire area. The outermost edges and places which you can't reach with an SRP2 have to be stripped and cleaned by hand. For this purpose, use a pad master with a green pad or a small grey renovation pad. The dissolved sealant film, dirt and the turbo strip must now be vacuumed off. For this purpose, use a professional wet and dry vacuum cleaner or a premium F2. Carefully vacuum the entire area. Before stripping, there was dirt and a worn sealant film on the floor. After stripping the floor, all traces have been removed and it is clean. After basic stripping, the floor still has to be neutralized. This is to ensure optimal adhesion of the new sealant film. Warm water is used for neutralizing. Soak a wide mop head cover in water. Pour the water onto the floor and spread it with a wide head mop. Make sure that you also neutralize those parts which are hard to get to. Work in circles of 8. Keep the wide head mop moving near to your body, in circles of 8 to neutralize the entire area. Instead of doing this by hand, you can use a premium F2 to clean the surface. Now the water has to be vacuumed off again. That's really easy with the professional wet and dry vacuum cleaner. Begin by vacuuming off the water at the hard-to-reach places, such as under radiators and in the corners. Then vacuum off the entire area. Even then, some moisture will remain on the floor. That doesn't matter. Just let the floor dry off by itself. Before neutralizing, there was still some dirty solution left on the floor. After basic stripping and neutralizing, the floor is perfectly prepared for a new sealing layer. Now the floor is going to be colored with a layer of PU Sealer color, with a decorative addition of colored chips. This dyed layer with colorful chips is then covered by 2 transparent top coats. Dr. Schutz offers PU Sealer color in 10 different standard colors. At your request, it is possible to color the floor using colors produced from the hues found in any color range. PU Sealer color is a high-quality 2-component sealant which must first be mixed together with a cross-linker. Pour the cross-linker into the container. 1 bottle of cross-linker is exactly the right amount to mix with a 5-liter container of sealant. Shake the mixed lacquer thoroughly. Begin on the side which faces the light source and work in the direction of the room's exit. You can cover the corners and hard-to-reach places under radiators with a small lacquer roller or with a radiator brush. Then roll over these edges with an aquatop lacquer roller as far as possible. PU Sealer color has a setting time of 4 hours after it has been mixed with cross-linker. Therefore, only mix as much together as you can use within this time. The best method is to work with a colleague. With 2 of you, one can concentrate on rolling the lacquer while the other scatters the coloured chips. Spread the chips evenly by hand or use the Dr. Schutz Chip Spreader DS100 chipper. Make sure to sprinkle the chips in corners and under radiators with the same regularity. Roll out the lacquer in strips. At the same time, make sure that you apply a generous quantity of lacquer. If you happen to have forgotten a spot somewhere, go over it again, touching up directly. Avoid puddles forming. Let the roller move loosely across the floor. Additional pressure isn't necessary. If the room is big enough, work crossways, whereby you first roll at 90 degrees to the light source and then parallel to it. This room is narrow. Therefore, here the lacquer is only rolled in the direction of the window, in order to distribute it across the floor. When that is done, a second coat of lacquer is applied on top, directly afterwards. Work steadily from strip to strip across the room until the entire floor has been sealed. This sealing coat must now be left to dry for about 2 hours. It's an advantage to have good ventilation, but be sure to avoid strong drafts. Before the lacquer was applied, the old floor was clean, but its appearance was unchanged. After application of the lacquer, the floor now has a new colour and has a pattern of coloured chips. After the coloured coat of PU Sealer colour, now a transparent layer of PU Sealer 100 is applied for protection. PU Sealer 100 is a high-quality two-component sealant. The sealed layer is extremely hard-wearing, resistant against transparent chemicals, and easy to clean. PU Sealer is a high-quality two-component sealant based on polyurethane, like PU Sealer 100. PU Sealer is also extremely hard-wearing and resistant against transparent chemicals and disinfectants. PU Sealer is available in 3 different finishes: extra matte, matte, and glossy. PU Sealer is applied in 2 coats, each time using 50 grams per square meter. PU Sealer is available in 3 different gloss grades: matte, satin, and gloss. Remove the safety ring. PU Sealer 100 consists of 2 components which must first be mixed together. Pour the cross-linker into the large container. 1 bottle of cross-linker is exactly the right amount to be mixed in 1 container of PU Sealer 100. Smaller quantities can simply be mixed together in a ratio of 1 to 10. As soon as both components of PU Sealer 100 have been mixed together, you can use the sealant for a maximum of 4 hours. Shake the container thoroughly. Begin again on the side which faces the light source. First seal the edges, then move on to the main area. Use a small lacquer roller or a radiator brush to cover those hard-to-reach places. If you happen to see fluff or hair on the floor, remove them directly, then roll over the place they had been another time. Pour out a strip of PU Sealer 100 onto the floor and roll the lacquer out in strips about 1 meter wide with an Aquatop lacquer roller. Then roll out the lacquer one more time. Work overlapping the places which had been sealed before. Don't put any pressure on the lacquer roller, let it roll loosely. Seal the entire area in this way. If possible, work crossways, the second coat at right angles to the first. As this is a relatively small room, the lacquer was rolled out twice in the direction of the light. This layer has to be left to dry for about 2 hours. After 12 hours, the floor can be walked on carefully. Before the top coat was applied, the coloured layer of PU Sealer colour was unprotected. Now an extremely hard-wearing sealed layer of PU Sealer 100 is on top of it. Beforehand, the floor was unsightly and heavily worn down. Full-scale renovation would have been expensive and time-consuming. After only 1 day of work with Dr. Schutz's products, the room looks completely new. PU Sealer colour has given the floor a very pleasant appearance, while PU Sealer 100 provides excellent surface protection, bringing a new feeling to this space. The floor is extremely hard-wearing and easy to clean, which means that the floor will continue to look excellent for a long time, while also saving the costs of cleaning.